Good afternoon. Thank you for this order. I made this one on request. It was requested quite some time ago. It's nothing, what should I say, it's special, but it is Christmas. So, and people wanted, someone wanted holly leaves, and I wasn't sure what to do first. I actually wanted to create a garland or something, but I decided to make a centerpiece instead of a garland, because I have noticed that people do not have the time to make a garland, and centerpiece is a much easier thing to make. Less time also. So what I have done, let's just start. What I have done, I made my berries, as you can see here, out of clay. It's just this kind of, let me show you if I have them here. Yeah, I have it here. Mine was pink, as you can see. I'm almost out. I just bought this at the toy store close here nearby, so it's very easy to dry actually. I think it's dry now. So what I did was I created all those tiny balls out of clay, stick them on a wire, which these wires I have collected over time, and you know, when I cut pieces off, I never throw them away. I always keep them, and this was a perfect moment to use them. So I attached them, and then when I was painting them red, let me get this thing as well. Oh, on my paper. So and then I have this styrofoam, which is white, but I painted green, and so, you know, the background won't be so white. So I stick them in here and then let them dry. This is what I did with all of them. And then afterwards I forgot that I bought these small decorative glitter balls. Those are actually styrofoam balls, those very small ones. This is like half a centimeter, just like a quarter of an inch, and are covered with glitter. So I found out, like, I could have used this, you know, also for the poinsettias that I had. But oh well, you know, I can always save it for next year. So, but I used this for the flower, by the way, as you can see. That's what I used. I also gave the stamen, added the stamen for the flower, just in case you would like to use stamen instead of the balls. So you can choose. I always like giving options and showing different kind of options, the way that you could create your flower with the things that we have in the house or other, you know, materials. So let's start with the leaf first. Let's start with where to start. So what I did, and I'm sure I had one here. Oh, it's over there. Let me get all the things that I need and put them here so I have them close. Put this away. So I have printed the, I can't say how much you really need for the styrofoam. I also don't remember the size of this thing, but it's not that big. So depending on what you're gonna use, actually you have to adjust just the amount of leaves and flowers you have to cut. So what you would like to do with them. But this is an example. You do not have to do this. You can always, you know, just buy a container and put them in there, and but it's not designed to be contained. It's actually really designed to be okay. But if you would like in a container, then I would suggest to just, because after painting them red, I removed the wire, as you can see, and I just glued each one on the template, on the holly leaf template. That's what I did. So there is no holes, but if you would like to use it for a centerpiece, then I would recommend, let me get the ones that I've prepared. I have here 3 red ones, just up where the wires are still attached, as you can see. Then I would suggest to just let me have it here. To pin a hole in the center as big as you can. I am using this nail art tool to pin those holes, and my mat, you know, and I have different sizes. I can always make my hole bigger. This is what I also prefer to do before, because I did not like my having those small paper pieces on my cutting mat, so I did not have to weed that much, you know, and it won't be so messy, and then I didn't have to clean it all the time because I do cut a lot. So that's why I did not have, I prefer not having holes in the center. So, and that way your mat will last longer, then you don't have those paper residues so much. All you have to do is actually use your bent nose plier and bend those berries just, you know, a bit so they can actually attach together. So I just bended them a bit. Then you attach them together with floral wire, and after that you stick them in and make sure your hole is big enough, because it's going to be thicker when they are. And there you go. And then you'll have your wire underneath, and then you can put it in a container with foam if you wish, if you do not want this. So that's the other option. Okay? So there. I did not do that. I using this. So preparing the holly leaves is actually pretty easy. All I used is my hobby tweezers, and I just basically just place them on the edges, you know, where the pointy areas, and I just twisted them forward towards, you know, out towards the outside, not towards the center. That's basically it, to create some dimension and to make your leaves less flat. So that's pretty easy, right? That is all I did, and there are many ways to do that. If you like something else, you could also use your nail art tool and just emboss the veins if you wish. But I chose this one. Something different. So I've prepared all my bowls. I did that and then I just let it dry for a couple of hours and then I could continue. Actually, I did, to be honest, it can be dry in a couple of hours, but I made mine before I went to bed and let it dry for a night. And no, I did not actually. No, that's not true. I let it dry for just a couple of hours. After making bowls, I painted them immediately, stick them in, let them dry, and after a couple of hours I was ready to go. So these were here for, I've made this quite some time ago. Earlier this week, can't remember. That's it. For the leaves, we would like to, I'm just gonna show you one. For the flower, I mean, like to fold them. You fold this one in half. There are 5 petals, so you have to fold one in half. Then you're just gonna fold them in 1 petal. There are many ways to shape this flower, really. So this is not the only one, but this is my version. So I used my embossing, my hobby tweezer, and all I did was actually cut here and curl them. So I just took a piece and I just curled them. Curl them like that. So this one went inwards and then I went like half a centimeter, 1 centimeter next to the next one. And then I'm going to the opposite direction to curl them. So I'm creating those waves, you know, curls, ruffle, whatever you would like to name it. And then I go. So it will look like this. So what I did, let me show this on, this piece of paper, is I curled this one there, outside. As you can see, it's curled. And then the part where it's curled, I pulled it back and curled again. And you can go next, and then I curled again. And then creating those ruffles, waves, ruffles actually. And this is the effect what you get, what you're supposed to get. You see? So those wavy ruffle thing. That's what you do. If you go to the left, the next one goes to the right. The left, right, left, right. That's all you do. But there are many ways, other ways to shape the flowers. You could also easily just use a chopstick. And where's my chopstick? Oh, I can't find my chopstick, but I'm gonna use my bamboo skewer. But I would recommend chopstick, and then you can just shape them and shape them backwards. You know, curl them first to the center, like that, and then curl the outer. But I wanted to create a ruffle one. I haven't made any ruffled flower in a very long time, and it is kind of my trademark. I have spent a lot of time practicing this technique or finding out about this technique and experimenting, and by making flowers over time you will learn enough techniques that when you see a flower, then you actually know what to do, how to achieve a certain shape. In this case, I wanted to make a new creation, and instead of pleating, I wanted to do this. So yes, we have that, but I just don't know when it will be released. We shall see. I have so many requests. So basically that's it. If you would like to accentuate it more, if your this doesn't work properly, then you could also do this extra curling. Curl to the left, curl to the right. Then you get those curls. Accentuate this one is pretty okay. Curl to the left, curl to the right, curl to the left. The reason why I'm doing this extra is because sometimes if you skip a step, you won't reach the same effect. So that's why you have to fold them first. And then after folding, doesn't mean that, you know, you instantly have those ruffles, and something doesn't, you know, always look as pretty. So you can always beautify and help the petals a bit. And that's just by accentuating the ruffles more by just using the same technique. So I have used all those styrofoam balls, glitter balls, they call it, for this one, and I'm just gonna bend them a bit. So I'm holding the tip of my, I'm bending them a bit because they're all gonna be attached together, and that will, you know, create some space in the wires. I do not want that. I want all the wires to be together. So to do that, you have to bend it a bit so all the balls are attached, and then you won't have the space between the wires, as you can see. And if you're using the paper stamen, then all you have to do is roll. Actually, that's it. All you have to do is roll, place glue on the strip. For example, this is the strip at the bottom. Place glue there, and then just roll it over the wire. That's it. And then you have to attach it with floral tape as well, so it won't come off. So just roll it with glue over the strip. It's just like rolling, rolling, rolling. And then when done, attach it with floral tape. And you don't have to completely attach the whole wire, so it won't come off. I thought to use these glitter balls, if you do not have them, those glitters, and you would like that, then you could also buy this, and it's in Amazon. These are silver. I thought they were just plain, but they are like, oh no, they're white. I see now. They're white glitters, which you can't see. But you could also use just white and then dip them in, you know, in glue. So I have some piece of paper, place some glue in there, or use Mod Podge. You know, I think Mod Podge is even easier. And then brush, paintbrush, use Mod Podge, stick them in the wire, just like that. Use Mod Podge and then dip them in the, how do you call that? In the glitter, or paint them, or I don't know what you would like to do. The reason why I'm giving so much options is because most of them, and if you are a member already, most of our members, group members, you know, they like to tweak and create their own thing. Not everyone necessarily wants to recreate mine, and you know, everyone is so creative. They have their own vision. So, and if you're a new member, then And I know that everyone always copy what I make. And some do, and that's okay. I'm very flattered, but there are members that they have, you know, they have their own, they like to use their own or tweak and create something. And that's okay too. So, and I just placed glue behind the balls, as you could see, and then attach the template. That's it. So if you like small flowers, just small, then you can also leave it like this. Actually, do not know yet how I'm gonna call these flowers, so I'm still thinking. And by the time that you get this, this already has a name, but I'm not sure yet. I actually, because it's Christmas, I wanted to call them Maria. It's the most obvious one. But I also do not want to offend anyone. And I am using it for Christmas now, but I am sure I will make them. You can make them in other colors too. Just fantasy flower, and yes, with a bit of difficult technique, but it can be assembled or, you know, shaped in different ways. Would you prefer? If this pleating or curling, ruffling technique doesn't work out, then... But actually, it's pretty easy. You can't go wrong. As long as it's ruffled, then you're perfect. It's good, right? So, none of mine... So when you're making this, don't look at my petals, because none of my petals is the same, because every ruffle is different. Use the same technique for each and every one of them. But the petals, if you look at it, yes, there are ruffles, but not all ruffles are the same, because that's what I like about using technique, because none of the flowers will look the same. And I'm sure there are some that maybe looks the same. Well, they look the same, the flowers do, but if you look closely, you will see that make sure they're attached. You will see that the petals aren't. Oh, and by the way, if you're new into making flowers, I forgot to mention that when you're layering, you do not want to layer, the templates on top of each other, like this, but you really would like to fill the gap between petals with another petal. So this is how you layer. Not like this. And my glue gun is leaking again. I have this thing with my glue gun. Really hate using it. It keeps leaking. Not sure if you guys have the same issue. But if you do, you know what you do, what you use, and if you don't, let me know what brand you're using. But I just bought this at this the dollar shop where we, you know, because Well, it's just glue stick. So even if you